Welcome, world, to Life, Love, and Wellness Global, a worldwide wellness movement. I am Reverend Sandy Rogers, and as the creator of this historic event, it is my pleasure to welcome you. We come together to bring you this historic event. We have practitioners, holistic practitioners. We have medical doctors. We have spiritual individuals. This event is so lovingly dedicated to my mother, Mrs. Barbara Dean Brown. And my mother taught me like 40 plus years ago about the importance and the meaning behind herbs. And she would always say, we don't know what they putting in those pills, so you better not, get hooked on prescription drugs. And so we listened to Mom, but not all of us paid attention. My sister, bless her heart, was diagnosed recently thereafter with asthma, and she was prescribed prednisone, which is a very powerful steroid. And my sister actually got hooked on steroids, like someone out on the street kind of hooked, like on heroin or crack or something like that. And so my mom and my sister are both on the other side, living in the other dimension, but they're upholding me, and this is dedicated to their memory. So we don't want to come and make you change your mind about what you're doing. We just want to provide information to you, something different, so that you have options to choose from, so that you're not stuck. Because the environment that we now live in, the fast foods, the toxins in the air that we breathe and in the water that we drink, and the processed foods, and all of that is causing havoc on this precious body temple. So God created our bodies to heal themselves, but they can only heal themselves when they're fed and they're nourished and they're stress-free. And so the 60 or so or more experts that we have are bringing you this worldwide wellness movement in an attempt to share their testimonies and their information with you. So we have from age 14 on up. I don't even know what the oldest age is. I think 88 or something. So you see, that's a wide range of knowledge that we're bringing you. And so we hope that you come and that you get all the knowledge that you need to affect a positive change on your life, and share this with others. It's free, it's online, and so we're just so thankful that you decided to be a part of our listening community, the viewing community, and we certainly appreciate you for giving us your time of day and your energy and your efforts to being with us and to being a part of this historic event. We have pulled together people of color for you, by you, right? So we want to make sure that you understand that we too, melanated people with color, can enjoy, practice, and participate in some of these modalities that others have been doing for centuries, and that is pretty new to our community. So we talk about Qigong, we talk about meditation, yoga, spiritual work from a different perspective than religion. So we talk about the spirituality aspect. We talk about abuse in the families. We talk about all kinds of subjects because we know that in our communities there are layers and layers and layers and layers of stuff that we never talk about that's causing a negative effect on our bodies and its healing process. So we address it, whatever it is, and we hope that you will benefit from the many experts that we have, and that you walk away with lots of knowledge and lots of new information, and that you become fully empowered to share information with others. So thank you for being with us. We love you and we bless you, and we look forward to doing this again. But thanks for being here with the first one. We appreciate you.
Love and wellness. Life, love, and wellness.
My name is Star Waters. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I am a wellness coach. I'm a raw food chef, a flower essence practitioner. I do astrology and numerology to help to find out about people's personalities, to help work with them better. In the past, I have been a diabetes community educator. And gee, I kind of have my hands in a lot of different things where wellness is concerned. I'm also a social media manager where I post exciting things about wellness and health on Facebook.
Excellent. And you have a very fascinating story to share with the world in reference to diabetes.
I lived with diabetes for 15 years, and it's really interesting that the clinic that I went to get diagnosed with diabetes ended up being about maybe 15 years later, the clinic that I ended up working at to become a community diabetes educator. So I thought that was something to look back on and say, wow, who would ever thunked it? After being a person with diabetes, I was always told that I would have it for life. It was my fate, and that I should just expect to deal with the complications of diabetes, which could be amputation, blindness, all of that. It's just what happens. Um, I was able to work with organizations like the American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association, Susan G. Komen, different health uh, organizations in Portland, Oregon, state of Oregon, Multnomah County, where I learned about diabetes and other illnesses, diseases. And then I stepped over the line and went into the wellness area. Within just a few months of actually changing my livet, I went from having a diet to having a livet where I started eating fresh fruits and vegetables. I became totally plant based, and that meant no animal products, no cheese, no dairy, no meat, none of that. Within 40 days of making that shift, 15 years of diabetes just went away, gone. And that was in 2011, and I am still diabetes free. My blood pressure was almost at the level of having a stroke. I now have normal blood pressure, and I'm just a healthy 70-year-old living my life like it's golden.
So, what advice, what suggestions, what knowledge have you gained over the years that you would like to share with people? I mean, you learned from the work that you did with the Diabetes Association that people are told that you got to take the pills because you're going to have this, the rest of your life is incurable. So, what's your message to people?
My message is to not allow someone else to be your manifester. We all have within us a God voice, a intuition. Allow yourself to remain open so that you can be led to the information and to the outcome that you are searching for. So many times we feel that others know more than we do, and when they tell us something, then we take it as the truth. If someone had told me when I first developed diabetes that there was a chance that possibly I could turn the diabetes around, what I know now to be a reversal of the autoimmune disease diabetes, I would have done whatever it was they said. What I have found in the last few years that have become the wellness coach to help other people is that I think that people really don't want to know that they can be cured. And it's like once I say you can turn that around, they start telling me about what their doctor told them. So they're not open. And sometimes when God puts people, angels in our path, we have to be open to listen to what the angels are telling us in order for us to see a brighter day and to be victorious in our health and our wellness.
So, why do you think people are reluctant to hearing the message you have to share with them that they can turn the diabetes around?
I think there are two reasons. The first reason is this thing is an acronym for the word ill, which is simply I lack love. When people can talk about their illnesses, they get sympathy. Oh, poor thing, is there anything I can do for you? What can I bring you some chicken soup? You know, we as individuals, especially today, are lonely. We may have a lot of people around us, we may have a lot of family around us, but that's just the outer. From the inside, we're empty. And if we can talk about we're not feeling good today, oh, it's just my sugar, that I lack love, it it brings other people to kind of lift us up, and we need that. The second reason is people are either afraid of change or they just don't want to do it. They're comfortable in their lifestyle. They're comfortable in the foods that they're eating. Many times the foods that we are eating are generational type foods, foods that our mothers fed us, foods that their mother's mother taught them how to prepare, and we're just stuck in that traditional rut. And if you talk about taking away a lot of our comfort foods and our the foods that are traditional to us, I've heard so many people say, "Hey, we gotta diet something. While I'm here, I'm gonna be happy. I'm just gonna be happy." But now that we are not dying at age 30, well, some of us are dying at age 36 now. We're reversing that, where it looked like we were living longer, but really the question that should be asked, or are we really dying longer? Because we're dying in pieces. Okay, so now my toe has to be amputated, and then after that, they're going to take off the foot, then they're going to take off the leg, then they're going to start working on the other side. So it's just taking us longer to die, but we're not living really optimal, healthy lives, which is supposed to be what we're all entitled to. It's our divine right to live a healthy life until the day you stop living.
In your role as a raw food chef, do you instruct individuals on how to prepare meals that would change their health condition, or are you, so what's the purpose behind your raw food certification?
Well, let me clarify. I'm not a certified raw food chef. I'm a raw food chef just from practice. So I decided to be raw in 2000, and it it sounded really great. I had gone to the International Raw Food Festival, and they gave out a challenge to do it. By day 6, I knew that this is what I wanted to do, but I didn't know what that meant. I would have like a plate that had some cut up carrots, cut up broccoli, and maybe, something else on it. And after a day or two, that became really very boring. So what I started doing was thinking of some of the dishes that I enjoyed eating that were cooked foods, like spaghetti. Spaghetti was one of my favorite meals. However, spaghetti in the traditional way also ran my blood sugar sky high with the pasta and all of that. So I came up with this idea to make spaghetti out of bean sprouts, avocado, um, cut up green onions, and green olives. And I put salsa on it that you find in the refrigerator of the grocery store. And it was very satisfying. So that became my raw spaghetti. And so from there, then I came up with other ideas that I transformed from being cooked into raw food until I had like a whole several meals of things. And so that's what I do. I meet people where they are. I ask them what type of foods do they like to eat, and we start from there. First of all, with helping them to modify those foods where they're eating less fat, where they're eating it's not fried, or if they like chicken, I'm not going to just take them from their chicken and put them on tofu. Well, let's find out how we can do oven fried chicken. So you have to meet people where they are in order for them to sustain the change and be excited about eating the same foods but done in a different way, and it tastes good.
I know at one time you had shared with me that you had discovered the food manufacturers place certain items in the food to get people hooked. Can you explain that?
They're called excitotoxins, and they are basically like it's the same preface as having cocaine go into your system. Basically, it breaks down to three things, which is salt, sugar, and fat. But they also use chemicals, and these chemicals are called excitotoxins. They have scientists in their little labs that they make sure that the food has what they call a bliss point, that it is just enough to, when you take the first bite, you have your eyes roll back in the back of your head, that it just tastes so wonderful, and it goes right to the pleasure center of your brain. And from the first bite on, you want to eat more and more so that you can get that same hit that you got from the first bite. Now, generally, it's never going to be the same. You know that song is never as good as the first time, but we're still constantly wanting to get that first time pleasure. So we keep eating and we keep eating and we keep eating. And then before you know it, it's all gone. And then something else is happening with our bodies. Our bodies does not register that this frankenfood is real food. So it never gets full. So it's just a constant feeding, and the body is constantly saying, feed me, because it's not being recognized that it's being fed. So my advice is to eat real food. That's what your DNA is going to recognize. And especially when you're eating fresh fruits and vegetables, your body knows immediately, oh yes, I'm being fed. Two things happen. You eat less and you get full faster when you eat real food. The reason I believe that, first of all, let me say that I did a lot of things to control my blood sugar level when I was eating meat. I cut out a lot of my starches where I wasn't eating pasta and things of that nature, and that helped for a little while. But what happened when I started eating raw food was that the diabetes went away because of the enzymes that are found in raw food. When we cook our food, when we heat the food, it takes away the enzymes. And the enzymes is the healing agent that helps us to heal. When you're doing food as medicine, You don't need the pills. You don't need the medicine, any other kind of chemical type medicine. It's God's groceries, and He gives us everything that we need. So many of the fruits and vegetables replicate the parts of the body that they help to heal and strengthen. And so, eating food raw is the magic pill. We're all looking for the magic pill. It's in your vegetable department of your store. You need not go any further than the produce section. And I will tell you one other thing too. It is also the key fountain of youth. So if you want to continue to age backwards, it's possible. You don't have to be old and decrepit. You can be older, wiser, and more youthful just by eating foods that still have the enzymes in them, which is raw fruits and vegetables. And it's so easy to do.
And you're 70,
70 and some change.
and you recently had a comment from someone that said you looked
Like I was at least 45 or 50.
that's the type of comments that you can get from people when you do what Star has done, and that is to change your life around. Star, when I met you, you were on a 100-day fast. Can you explain that?
I decided for my 68th birthday to do a fast, and it was going to be an 88-day fast. I was going to end on my birthday, which is February the 18th, and it was a juice fast, but it ended up being a juice fast, water fast, and then I also fasted off of vegetable broth. So somewhere around day 80, I thought, you know what? I'll probably won't ever do this again to go to 100 days, but I can add 12 extra days and do 100 days. And so I added 12 days onto my 88 days, and I successfully completed a 100-day fast. That is a solid food vacation for 100 days.
And what were the benefits, and what were your reasons for doing it?
Well, the benefit, of course, is always detoxifying your body. That is the first step in doing any type of healing of your body, is to detoxify. For those people out there that feel that they are having a hard time losing weight, you have to detoxify your body before you can do anything, because you have inflammation, and inflammation is the foundation for all diseases. So when you start detoxing, then you start getting rid of the inflammation. And from that point on, that's the reason why I was able to reverse the diabetes, is because my body was no longer acidic. So in an acidic body, it's just the perfect fertilizer for all diseases. An alkaline body cannot grow diseases. And how do you get an alkaline body? Eat lots and lots of green leafy vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, no sugar, no animal products. I know it's probably overwhelming to you right now to hear all of this, but life is good on the other side. Life is good. I'm telling you. 2 years ago, I was running. I had so much activity going on in my life for someone that was 68 years old. Most of us, when we start getting to that age, we start slowing down, and we start having all these aches and pains, and all we do is complain about it. You know, won't life be wonderful when you're not complaining and when you have energy? Yes, it is.
Thank you, Miss Star. Do you have any last words of wisdom, advice, suggestions that a person may put in place to begin that journey to a healthier lifestyle?
I would say when you get up in the morning and you go and look at yourself in the mirror, ask yourself, am I happy with this person that's looking back at me right now? Is the person looking back at me right now experiencing divine health to its highest point? And if your answer is no, then ask, then what can I do to have that person begin to look back at me in the mirror? And then start eating whole foods, real food every single day. And your body will respond immediately. Less than 40 days, 15 years of diabetes gone, reversed, never to return. That would be my suggestion. You can do it.
Bye.